Yeah, it is a whole other conversation. Most of these VAs that are out there making that kind of like 40,000 pesos a month are less skilled professionally, technically, than these more simply because they're getting paid in US dollars. But if I'm interviewing these candidates, which I do on the agency side, if I talk to someone who is, 6 years of education as a doctor, and to talk to someone who's a social media manager, the bandwidth of their brain capacity is not the same, right? Now, the bandwidth of my brain capacity isn't very much either. So I'm not trying to elevate myself as being someone who's much brighter than the average. I'm simply saying, right? All virtual assistants are not created equally, and all labor workforce people are not created equally, and all people's brain capacities are not created equally. That's why they have IQ tests, intelligence quotient tests, right? To measure, let's just call it your brain's capacity to operate. Okay, so this isn't an insult to someone with limited brain capacity. I was talking to my wife the other day about morons. I had encountered someone that I was questioning whether they had a medical diagnosis of being a moron. She's like, how could you say that about, how could you say that? It was like offensive. I'm like, no, no, hold on a second. I do believe being a moron is a medical, I believe is a medical diagnosis, like being a retard, right? Mental retardation is a medical diagnosis, right? It's not an insult to be mentally retarded, right? If you were born into a body where you have limited capacity and you are mentally retarded, then you're mentally retarded, right? So your brain's capacity to operate has levels to it, right? Mental retardation is a condition that limits your capacity for your brain to operate, right? And then the scales, it goes up in scales, right? Then you have genius, right? You have genius at the other end of the scale, Albert Einstein, or like, I don't know, whatever, whoever you would consider to be a genius, Andres Chang, genius, right? Those people at the top, they're up here. Andres Chung's up here, the mentally retarded, right? You have a bandwidth. Where's my hands here? Let me put my hands over there. You see my hand, that up there. See the top of your TV? See the top of your monitor right now, everybody? Andres Chung, mental capacity way up
Thanks.
there, and then all the morons are way down here, right? Okay. So someone who's a moron now, it's okay to be a moron, right? Because that's the capacity of your brain to operate. So now, when we are talking about labor wages and how much people should be earning, it should be based on your capacity to execute and perform on a task, right? So what does this mean for the virtual assistant industry now? You have people who have brain capacity that are here earning more than people with brain capacity up there. And the reason why is because they're getting paid in US dollars and the other one's getting paid in pesos. Okay? How, to understand that requires a capacity to comprehend. So maybe I'm here. I don't consider myself a genius. I don't think I'm a moron, but I'm somewhere in here. So someone of average, I consider myself to be average, kind of like my face. I'm not good looking. I'm not ugly. I'm somewhere in the middle. Okay, I'm an average. Some people think I'm cute. Some people think I'm hideous. My wife can't decide. One day I'm handsome. The next day she doesn't want to look at me. So that's where I came to the conclusion I'm average. By the way, some days she kisses me. Some days she doesn't. I guess I'm average, right? So if someone with an average capacity to understand, right, that your ability to earn is based on your capacity to perform, but your paycheck, what someone can use all the way up here, and then the one with greater capacity, their paycheck's down there. Maybe it has something to do with that same currency disparity that you're talking about, right? That and so what is my point? That's why you have so many morons in the VA industry. Right? People
Really?
with limited, yes, people with limited capacity or less capacity, but because they're able to execute on mundane tasks that a moron could do, they get paid more than the engineers.
Or they did not have the opportunity. In some cases, maybe they didn't have the opportunity to get that, let's say, Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy. So they had to turn to something practical and they went to VA.
Andres, I love you, but I'm going to interject something there.
Okay.
You and I are old enough, okay, to remember life before the internet. We're like the dinosaurs walking around. We're going to be extinct soon. Soon
You
there
know
will be
what? You know what? You know what? I see where this is going, and that's a whole nother say what. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a book at the bookstore, and I swear by Allah that it is calling to me, but I refuse to buy it and read it because I'm afraid. And you know what it's called? It's called The Anxious Generation. And it's
no.
precisely about this, about kids all who are because like you just said, see, you and I can handle the internet because we didn't grow up with it. We grew up and then it happened, so now we can handle it. But these kids, they grew up with it.
Yeah.
They
So
were
here,
born
here's
into this world.
and here's what I want to say about this so-called generation of people lacking opportunity. I live in a country right now where it's supposed to be a third. They refer to Philippines as a third world country. Okay, they refer to it as not being a first world country, right? But why is it that I see 10-year-old kids at the elementary school walking out of their classroom with cell phones in their hands, right? So if you have a cell phone and you have a Wi-Fi connection, ignorance is no longer an excuse. Because if you can play Candy Crush on your phone, you could be tuning into this broadcast too. It's a choice. What you consume is a choice. And if you're choosing to waste your time making videos and uploading sexy dance on TikTok, but you're not sitting there reading something or listening to something educational or researching a concept or investing into something productive, it is a choice you're making. Ignorance is not an excuse in 2026 when you can be in a third world country in the province of Mindanao, in the mountains somewhere over there in Bukidnon or wherever you are, and even over there, like even where I am here in Bohol, you have people in remote places with their phones, looking at their phone. Now, when I look at what are they looking at on their phone, are you reading something educational, or is it gossip? Right. So I'm not feeling sorry for anybody anymore that isn't earning more than they need, okay, to support their families because of their laziness and unwillingness to put forth the work that's required to elevate yourself. Like I was posting the other day, all of being a champion isn't easy because if it was, everybody would be a champion. That's why you have winners and losers, and there's more losers than winners, just like in life, right? So it's what it is, right? So if you are a person listening to this, the question to ask yourself is, am I a loser or a winner? And if I am not a winner right now, do I have it within me and the will to become one? And then what do I have to do to become one? And then do the work. But if you don't have the willingness and you don't put forth the work, you're the moron that I was talking about earlier. That you're choosing. You're choosing to stay down there. And someone who chooses to swim with morons, guess what that makes you? A moron.
Hmm.
And I have no sympathy for you. When you have hardworking people who are putting in the work, they are the ones that deserve to be rewarded and have the bounty of life and to live a better standard of life. I could go on. We have so many things to talk about, Andres. But thank you for having me here. I think we've been going for an hour now. Right? Would you like
Yeah,
me to talk for
I was
another hour?
Yeah, no, like I'd love to, but no, yeah, we're at our time limit, and but you mentioned your championship post on Facebook. Where can people find those posts of yours on Facebook? Is it
Nomads
just
Academy. Yeah. So
n-
nomadsacademy.ca is our website, or you can just search that on Facebook, Nomads
no?
Academy. Yeah. Or Money Garden. Money Garden. All of my stuff is posted there. You can just follow us there. And yeah, our Facebook channels are they're there, and we post our content there. But there's more stuff coming, video content soon. So
Great,
don't laugh at our
great,
social media
great.
pages. We're working on improving them.
Great, great. All right, Abby. I'm sorry we gotta end now. My man, there's this wonderful outdoor cafe I want to take you to, which is right next door to where I live. Um, this place, um, if it don't, no names, but if it was open, it's not open on Sundays, but if it was open on Sundays and they served alcohol, Oh, dream come true for people like you and me who just like need a place, an outdoor place to go order something to drink and get on our laptops. So anyway,
It's, I will remember that hopefully by the end of this year. It is in my plan to be in Davao before the end of the year. So if we're not doing one of these again, I'll see you in Davao.
okay. Well, let me just say thank you everyone for watching. If you are not watching it live, thank you for watching it. I hope you did like, share, subscribe, turn on bell notifications live. If you didn't and you're watching this not live, please like, share, subscribe, turn on bell notifications. In either case, please consider becoming a patron. Abby, I'll give you the last word to shamelessly plug anything about yourself, your business. Go for it.
If you are a virtual assistant and you're wanting to level up, or if you're someone who is thinking of getting into the industry, especially if you're living in the Philippines, if you are concerned about everything that's going on in the world and you want to earn in currency that is not pesos, nomadsacademy.ca. There are courses that we are teaching now to help everybody at whatever spectrum that you find yourself in your journey, newcomer, experience, or agency empire builder. So check us out, follow us on Facebook, and come join one of our live sessions as soon as you can.
All right. All right. So my tech person, I this is sadly it. Abby, I know we're gonna keep in touch. Thank you so much. I know you're a busy guy. And hey man, take care of yourself. And until we meet here again, and until we meet in real person again.
All right, God